Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to Saral Japani YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about jobs in Japan. Friends, we have been discussing a lot about higher studies and scholarships available for international students in Japan. Today let's do something different. Let's look at the job prospects in Japan for foreign workers who are willing to apply from abroad, that is from their home countries. So in this video we will take a look at the top sectors or industries in which there are plenty of jobs available for foreign workers, how to apply for those positions from abroad, and what are the eligibility criteria for those. So friends, three ways to settle in Japan. The first one is obviously higher studies through scholarships, which the Japanese government and other organizations provide from time to time to students annually. However, let's be practical that the scholarships are very few in number as compared with the number of students applying for them. So it is not possible for everyone to bag a scholarship for higher studies in Japan. Then what are the other ways to migrate to Japan and settle there? The second option is obviously getting a job in Japan. And the third one is to start your own business in Japan. So starting a business is not that easy, I understand. So we will park this third option aside. And for that, we will have in future, we will have a completely different series of videos on how to start a business in Japan. So that will be part of that series. So today our focus will be on getting a job in Japan from abroad. So let's go deep into this area. So today's agenda is why work in Japan, the top 8 sectors of job opportunities for foreign workers in Japan, the eligibility criteria, and how to apply. Why should one work or settle in Japan? So the first and the most important is good standard of living, better quality of life, and comfort. So Japan is a very peaceful country that provides good opportunities of career growth because Japan is a global leader in industry and technology. Then the salary and the financial benefits they provide is much better than many other Asian countries. Japan is a crime and corruption free nation, which is probably the most important aspect, and it's very, very safe. Even at 2 o'clock in the night, you can just walk around on the streets and without any fear. Japanese society is an extremely cultured society, and the nature of their people, you can't even imagine how good natured they are, how helpful they are, and especially towards the foreigners, they have a very, very humble and helpful attitude always. And last but not the least, Japan is one of the most beautiful countries of the world naturally. So the be it the sakura, be it Mount Fuji, the other volcanoes and other places to see, it attracts tourists from all over the world in huge numbers every year. Japan has been increasingly opening up to foreign workers, especially in sectors that face labor shortages or that requires global talent. Global talent in the sense, the talent that they don't usually get from the native Japanese people because it could be because of their language skills, unavailability of their English language skills, or maybe because of the Japanese traditional education, because of which they look for global talent for certain sectors. So if you are applying from abroad, then we first need to look at the top job sectors where foreigners are most in demand in Japan. The first sector is information technology and software engineering, as in any other country. Japan is investing in digital transformation and has an acute shortage of skilled engineers. So basically, software developers, artificial intelligence, machine learning engineers, data scientists, cybersecurity experts, and IT project managers. These are the most important roles. Other roles are also invited, but these are the most happening roles for which there are surplus of job advertisements you will find. So later in this video, I will tell you which are the most important job portals where you should upload your resume or CV. And based on that, based on the advertisements that are published on those websites, these are the fields which are mostly in demand from the IT sector. The second one is obviously English teaching. So believe it or not, English teachers, be it kindergarten, be it primary school teachers, be it secondary, higher secondary, or college or university English teachers are in great demand in Japan. The education industry, there is consistent demand for native or fluent English speakers to teach in schools, eikaiwa, which means conversation schools, and in universities. Assistant language teacher, private tutor, or university lecturer. As I mentioned, like it spans the entire spectrum of English English education. So if you are an English teacher in your country, just learn Japanese and you can easily get a job of English teacher in Japan and with much higher salary that you are getting in your home country. The third field is engineering, and the three most important branches of engineering that are in high demand in Japan is mechanical, electrical, and civil. Why? Because Japan's manufacturing industry still plays a key role in its economy. In fact, manufacturing or industry, so more than agriculture, manufacturing industry is more widespread in Japan because of the uh, because they have very less uh, land area. So agriculture is not that vast, but the manufacturing industry, for example, the automotive, that is all the big car manufacturers like Nissan, Toyota, and others, they are all Japanese. Then robotics, infrastructure. These are the top three industries of Japan. So what are the roles that they look for generally? Mechanical design engineer, automotive engineer, electrical systems developer. These are the main roles. But as I said in the beginning, these are not the only roles. These are the top three roles, top three or four, but other engineers are also welcome. So you can try your luck. There has been a continuous need for bilingual professionals with global finance experience, and that especially in the capital city of Tokyo. And that's why the roles of financial analysts, accountants, internal auditors, compliance officers, these are also in high demand. So finance and accounting is the fourth sector which is in great demand in Japan. So if you belong to this area, you can also try your luck. So we have discussed four areas, and as you can see, all these four are from diverse backgrounds: IT sector, then education, then engineering, now finance and accounting. The fifth one is tourism, hospitality. So this is again another totally another area. So Japan has always been one of the prime tourist locations. There was a dip in tourism as in any other country during the COVID period, but now again there is a surge in inbound tourism and major events like the Osaka Expo 2025. Tourists are like flocking in Japan like anything. And otherwise also, as I said, Japan is always a land of tourists. So if you are from the hospitality sector, that is hotel staff, tour guide, or customer service with good English and Japanese skills, then you can very easily get a job there. So here Japanese skills often required, but some roles are open to multilingual foreigners. So friends, I would reiterate on this fact that even if the job doesn't require Japanese, if you are applying from abroad, then you should have Japanese proficiency. Why? Because, for example, say there is a person already living in Japan. So, and if he doesn't know Japanese and you also doesn't don't know Japanese, then who will get the preference? Because the other person is already in Japan, so obviously he will get the preference over you. But if you know Japanese and he doesn't know Japanese, then in spite of the fact that you are outside of Japan, they can prefer you because you know Japanese, and that is a very big strength to work in Japan. So that is why I always tell people that if you are applying from outside of Japan, be it for job, be it for higher studies, Japanese proficiency is the weapon, is the most powerful weapon that you may have to crack these job interviews or a scholarship application. Visa type for hospitality and tourism will be specified skilled worker SSW category, and it can also be cultural activities, which is limited. The sixth sector is manufacturing and skilled trades, because there is a severe labor shortage in manufacturing and construction, as we just saw. So factory work, construction, welding, food processing, all these roles are in high demand in Japan. Again, this will be specified skilled worker category, and also it can be technical intern training program, TITP. So to work in Japanese industries, the basic Japanese skills, JLPT N4 or above, will be required. The seventh industry is healthcare and elderly care. So as you know that Japan is facing an aging population, and that's why there has been an increasing demand for care workers. So who is a care worker? A care worker means who can take care of old people, elderly people who are fighting some disease or who are unable to walk, need some support. So that kind of healthcare or elderly care is in high demand. So if you are from the nursing background, although you will have to give an exam, a test, a nursing entrance test to be a nurse in Japan, but at least if you are a nurse in your home country, then you have very high prospects. If you learn Japanese up to N4 level, then you can become a nurse in Japan, and it has a very good financial benefit. It's a very high package you can get being a nurse. So caregiver, nurse, hospital assistants, so they also have promising future in Japan. And last but not the least, sales and marketing in global firms. There is a need for multicultural talent in international sales and marketing, market expansion in Japan. And the role of business development, digital marketing, market analyst is ever increasing. So that means this is the MBA side. So if you are an MBA and you have English and Japanese language skills and you have work experience, then you can apply for Japan. So again, I am telling the same thing. What makes you different from other applicants is your knowledge of Japanese. So if you are thinking to apply for a job in Japan, the first thing that you should do is to learn Japanese up to N3 level. After that, things will be very, very easy. So I know it is very difficult to pass the JLPT N3, but it is not impossible. It will take 2 to 2.5 years. But once you have that, the entire the gateway to Japan will be open for you. So to summarize, let's summarize what we have just seen. So these are the sectors. These are the sectors: IT and software, developer, data scientist, Japanese needed. So this is the level of Japanese that is needed, low to medium. Visa type will be engineer. Education, mostly English teachers. Japanese requirement is low, so N5 or N4 should be enough. So here low, medium, high means low is JLPT N5, N4. Medium is JLPT N3 and high is JLPT N2. So this is how we differentiate between the Japanese proficiency. Engineering, mechanical, electrical, civil, medium is the Japanese proficiency, that is N3. Finance, analyst, accountant, medium to high. So for finance, you may require Japanese proficiency of N2 as well. And likewise for healthcare, a high is required because you have to communicate with local people. So unless you know the language at a very in-depth level, you won't be able to communicate. So that's why for nursing, N3 or N2 will be required. Yeah, N2 level will be required for nursing. And same goes for sales and marketing, because this is again, it deals with a lot of public interaction. So medium to high. So N3 and N3 N2 should be fine. Similarly for finance, and for rest, N3 or lower, that is N4 or N5 will also do. So you can take a snap of this slide, which gives a very crisp summary of your prospects. So if you belong to any of these 8 sectors, so these are very wide sectors, so you should be belonging to any of one of these sectors. So if you belong to these sectors, you can definitely apply. And if you do not belong to these any of these sectors, then also you can apply, because these are the top 8 sectors. It doesn't mean that the other sectors do not have any job opportunities in Japan. These are the top 8 sectors which I have summarized here, but there are more sectors. In fact, every sector, there are jobs in Japan, provided you know Japanese. So now, what are the eligibility criteria? The first is diploma, bachelor, master, or doctoral degree as applicable for the job you are applying. So this is the basic degree which is required in any job, for any job in any country. So this is nothing special about Japan. This is a very generic criteria. Second is an average work experience of 4 years or above in relevant field. So it is not fixed 4 years. Some may ask for 2 years, some may 3 years, some may 4 years, or some may be 10 years as well. So it depends on the advertisement and the nature of the job for which the vacancy is there. So accordingly, but on an average 4 years or above, you can at least start applying. So a degree, a diploma, and an average work experience of 4 years or above in your field. And the third criteria is Japanese language proficiency. So as you saw in the last slide, it varies from sector to sector and from position to position. So on an average, N3, you should be N3 certified. If you are N3 certified, then you are at a very satisfactory level. So you are at a comfort zone. So how to apply? First thing is to choose the right job sector, the job sector that you belong to. So for example, you may not be directly belonging to any of these, but since these 8 sectors are the topmost, you should, if possible, try to relate yourself with any of these and try to apply for jobs in that sector. That will give you more chances of getting the job. But in case it is not at all possible, then you can apply for job in your own field, so that is not a problem. So IT and software, teaching English, engineering, skilled labor via skilled specified skilled worker visa, hospitality, healthcare, and finance and international business. Second step will be to prepare your application materials. So what you will need? You will need an English resume, and it is good to have a Japanese translation of your resume. In Japanese, they call resume as rirekisho. So you can prepare that, so that will be a good. So when you upload your resume on a job portal, you can upload both English and Japanese versions. Cover letter tailored to the job, passport, proof of education, language proficiency certificates, that is JLPT, and for English TOEFL or IELTS. So these are again very basic things. Next, the most important one, the job platforms. So there, if you search in Google, you will find many job portals, and you do not know the authenticity of those, whether they are fake, they are frauds, they may get your details. So be very careful when you select the websites or the job portals for applying for jobs. When it comes to Japan, these are the top and reliable job portals. So first one and the most important one is the Gaijin Pot Jobs. Then there is Daijob, then Jobs in Japan, Career Cross, Tokyo Dev, and Hello Work, which is basically Japanese government's website. So you can search these on Google, and from the search result you can directly click on the link and go to these websites. So Gaijin Pod Jobs is basically best for English teaching, IT sector and hospitality sector, that is tourism sector. So if you belong to these sectors, IT and software, English teaching and hospitality, then you should select these Gaijin Pod jobs. But that again doesn't mean that you will not apply in the other portals. So you should create profile in each of these and upload your CV in each of these. But which one is best for what sector, that I have mentioned here. Likewise, Daijob is mainly for bilingual and professional jobs. Jobs in Japan is for teaching, part-time and skill jobs. Career Cross is for multilingual professionals. Tokyo Dev, so this is Tokyo developers, so software developers. If you are a software developer, then the best thing is to go into Tokyo Dev, and there you will see lots of opportunities and promising job options there. And hello work Japanese government, this is mostly Japanese, so unless you know good Japanese you won't be able to follow what is written there. So if you already know Japanese will up to N3 or above, then you can select this as well. So again, Japanese proficiency is the qualification that will make you stand out of the crowd. Otherwise, everyone is having the same qualification that you are having. So you have to stand out from the crowd to get selected. And since you are applying from abroad, what strength do you think will make that company recruit you? Because there are people already present in Japan. There are foreign workers. There are foreigners already in Japan who are looking for jobs. So why should they consider you as you are outside of Japan? You are living outside of Japan because it will be more expensive for them to hire you. So what is that thing that will make you more eligible than the ones that are currently in Japan? So that is your Japanese proficiency. So please start learning Japanese and please do it systematically, and please get certified with JLPT N3 so that the entire job sectors is open for you. And once you have that, apply and interview. Submit your resume on these portals, documents online. Be ready for video interviews, often via Zoom or Skype, because nowadays all interviews are conducted online. And some companies may ask for technical tests also, some aptitude tests and all. Then if it is for a teaching position, then they may be asking you to give a demo, a class demo, that is a teaching demo. Like they will give you a topic, you will have to explain on the whiteboard. And then there may be Japanese language interview as well if required. If the field demands that, then they may take your interview in Japanese also, for example in the nursing sector. So here one tip is to show cultural understanding and interest in Japan during the interview. So you should be familiar with their etiquette, the Japanese etiquette, their cultural things like their level of politeness, how they talk, and in interviews, how you should respond, what are the salutations, what are the polite gestures that you should remember. So all these things you have to adapt to impress the interviewers. And then get a job offer and visa sponsorship. So that is a later thing. So once you receive an offer, the company that is going to recruit you, it will provide you a certificate of eligibility, COE. And once you receive the COE, you can apply for a work visa at a Japanese embassy, and it is very quick. So getting the COE takes time, but once you receive the COE from the company, it takes hardly 7 to 10 days to get the work visa, and you can immediately travel to Japan. And the visa types will be one of these: engineer or specialist in humanities or international services, instructor, specified skilled worker, technical intern training, and highly skilled professional. So you can search each of these categories on Google and you can understand better which one is will be applicable for you. But this is again a later thing. This is all when it comes to applying for visa, but before that you have to get the job offer. And there are a few extra tips as well. The first thing, again, the same thing which I have been telling again and again, Japanese language. Learning Japanese will greatly expand your job options. Aim for at least JLPT N4, N3. Professional networks, this you already know, using LinkedIn or attending online career fairs and joining expat groups. So this is to expand your presence on the social media, on the professional networks. So this is also needed. So you have to market yourself as well. It's not that only gaining qualifications is enough nowadays. Nowadays it is important to project you, to market yourself. And then when it comes to recruitment agencies, again, do not fall prey to frauds and fake agencies. So if you are thinking to go via recruitment agencies by paying them their fees, then you can consider agencies like Michael Page Japan, Robert Walters Japan, or Nihon Arubaito. So this is for the special skilled worker jobs. So you can consider approaching these three recruitment agencies. They are well known and they are reputed agencies which will help you in finding a job. But before that, friends, the most important thing now is you should be working in a company or in a job at present in your home country, have 3 to 4 years of experience. And if you do not know Japanese, then start from today, start learning, and in 2 to 3 years you will be easily able to qualify for N3 certification. And at that time your experience, job experience, will also increase. And if you apply at that time, you will definitely get a job in Japan. There are enough jobs, but they do not find people who know Japanese, because in Japanese most of the jobs require Japanese proficiency so that you can interact with the local people. So that's it. So these are the important tips that I have just given you. So the summary is that if you didn't get any scholarship, and if you think that you can't get a scholarship because XYZ reasons, for example, you do not have 80% marks in class 10 and 12, as someone was mentioning in one of the previous videos, that what should I do? What should one do if one doesn't have 80% marks in class 10 or 12? Can't he is perform higher studies in Japan? So the answer is you cannot do higher studies in Japan with scholarship, and without scholarship it is so expensive that you cannot go. So the alternate option is this one that I just mentioned in this video, that aim for a job in Japan, and for that you do not need 80% marks. You just need good work experience and Japanese language proficiency, and that can expand your job opportunities or possibilities in Japan, and you can easily go to Japan and settle there. And the other option is the business option, which I will discuss in a separate video, because that will require a series of videos, because there are several steps involved. It's not difficult to start a business in Japan, but there are several step by step things that needs to be considered. And as I said in the beginning, there is no corruption, there is no harassment. So starting a business is not difficult, because you don't have to bribe anyone, you don't have to get harassed, you don't have to face corruption. So that is also a good way to start a business there, but that will require some more information, so which I will give in a later video. So friends, that's all for today. I hope this video will help you and will encourage you and motivate you towards getting job in Japan. So do subscribe to this channel if you have not done yet, and let me know what do you think about this video. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.